Hi everyone, this is a video I'm super excited to share with you all. It's something that I've never gotten to see before and I can't find any videos of it online either, so I'm really happy that I was able to capture this. This is my pearl convict cichlid and she is actively laying her eggs right now. You'll see her wiggling against her flower pot. The texture helps her release the eggs, and then you'll see the father come in and kind of exchange places with her so that he can fertilize them. I am really hoping that this clutch of eggs works out and we get to see the fry because this is their third batch of babies and they have eaten the other two, which is actually very common in new parents for fish because it takes them a few tries to really figure out what it is that they're doing and to be successful at it. Now, if these eggs do hatch, they are very good parents. They do actually parent their fry for about 3 weeks, and at the end of this video, I'm going to show you what some of the other fry from our other breeding pair of convict cichlids looks like while they're swimming around in their tank. The best way to obtain a breeding pair of convict cichlids is to go to your local pet store and try and pick up 6 cichlids. You have about a 98.5% chance of at least one male-female pair establishing themselves. It is very important that you have the space available though, because once you do have a breeding pair established, you're going to have to relocate them to a new tank or they will bully the other guys to death. They are very territorial and they will guard their eggs for about 3 to 4 days after laying them. They won't come out of their flower pot very often. You may even see the other fish not being very willing to eat or leave the pot for any reason whatsoever. It does help if you do have them in their own tank so that they can have that element of comfort. If you are having trouble getting your convicts to breed, just increase their food to a protein-rich food, something like mysis shrimp or bloodworms. You can increase their water temperature as well. Convicts usually do spawn in the summer, so warmer temperatures do help them. And do about a 20% water change. In summer, it brings a lot of rain, and usually the water change will help simulate that rainfall. So once you have gotten to this point and you do have eggs in your tank, in about 4 days, you should see them hatch. In 2 to 3, they should start discoloring a little and getting a little bit more brown. So don't freak out, that's completely normal. And you should see them in 4 days kind of wiggling at the bottom of their flower pot. So these guys are actually called wigglers. They sit at the bottom of the flower pot for about a week and they're just absorbing their egg sac and really gaining the strength to help them free swim. In 7 days, the fry should be swimming on their own and the best food for them is baby brine shrimp. So whether you have a baby brine shrimp hatchery at your house or you can access one, they're pretty cheap to get. I think I got mine off of Amazon for like 20 bucks, and the baby brine shrimp eggs are very cheap as well. But if you do not want to do that, and it does cause a little bit of a mess and take up some space in your house, the best resource that I have found is just going to Petco and getting these frozen little baby brine shrimp cubes, and they're super easy. You can just pop one out, put it into some water, mix it up, and just target feed your fry. This is a really nice option if you don't want to go through all of the trouble of hatching the baby brine shrimp on your own. Of course, it is preferable to hatch them because they will be wiggling around the tank and the fish's natural instincts will kind of help them to attack and feed, but they should be just fine on the frozen brine shrimp. You might not get as high of a yield, but it won't be very much different. Your other option of feeding them is just to crush up their flake food really, really finely, so you almost make it into a powder and put that into the tank as well. This is not a super great option and it's going to affect how many babies that you will actually have come to adulthood, but it is an option if you don't want to deal with the brine shrimp. Or if you just don't have the space for the grow out room of a million baby convict cichlids. You also should have a plan in place for getting rid of them because most of your local fish stores will have a steady supply of convicts, so you may be able to walk in there and trade them in for credit at your fish store for different fish or fish food, but you are probably going to need to obtain a license before you do sell these guys. There are options to sell them online, but of course that brings its own complications with shipping and options that you can utilize to sell them to your local fish stores, but again, you will need that license.
And how
Here you will see Fry that's about 2 weeks old, and they are already free swimming in our other tank. We have removed them from their breeding pair so that they don't accidentally get eaten. After about 3 weeks, the parents will eat their young to make room for the next batch, so make sure that you remove the parents from the tank if you would like to see them survive it. Also, another thing that's just really helpful is to put them into a tank that has no gravel on the bottom. This is a learning curve and we have not done this yet, so we are trying to backtrack and do that now, which is causing a myriad of complications of cleaning the tank floor. So if you can go ahead and put them in a tank that does not have any gravel on the bottom, it's way easier to clean, way easier to see the babies. That is probably the right step for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you will subscribe and keep up to date on these little babies. I will be filming them until they grow up because I've never seen a Pearl and a Convict mix before, and I am super excited to share it with you guys.